I paid for this AI app. Then it silenced me. The artificial general intelligence dilemma is here. A personal story. Yesterday, I paid a company to use my own voice. And then that same company told me I wasn't allowed to speak. This isn't a theory from my book. This is something that happened to me in real time, 24 hours ago. And if it can happen to me, talking about a medical issue, it can happen to anyone, about anything. This is a perfect, terrifying example of how artificial intelligence can be used not to amplify our voices, but to control them. The experiment, how it happened. Here's exactly what happened. I was testing a new workflow for this channel. I use a service called ElevenLabs to create an AI clone of my voice. I was testing their new, more expressive model. Instead of pasting a written script, I decided to just speak my mind for about a minute into the microphone. I talked about what was on my mind that day, the recent news about Tylenol and autism. I gave my opinion that it seemed like an absurd scapegoat, a cover-up for bigger issues. I added pauses. I even laughed. I just wanted a real test. The AI generated the audio. But when I went to download it, a black screen popped up. Cannot share. This violates our community standards and is inflammatory in nature. I was shocked. I tried again. Same message. So I asked their AI help bot why. And it told me, point blank, I was making false claims. My tone was inflammatory. I was discussing political views, and my information was not accurate. It then stated, I agreed to this in the terms of service and directed me to a complaint form. End of story. I paid for a service, and I was denied the product because an algorithm did not approve of the content of my speech. The fine print. The smoking gun hidden in all the legalese that we have to agree to, or we cannot sign up. So, I did what they suggested. I went and actually read the terms of service, and what I found was chilling. This isn't just about their feelings. It's buried in the legal language we all blindly agree to. Let's look at it. Right here, under moderation, it says, we may delete or remove content or refuse to post any content at any time and for any reason, with or without notice. In our sole determination? Think about that. That means an AI or a faceless moderator has absolute unappealable power. But it gets worse. Yes, indeed. Under the acceptable use policy, it prohibits creating material that promotes or facilitates the spread of misinformation, including denying the existence of specific health conditions and other medical misinformation. Think about that. My opinion on a medical controversy debate happening right now among doctors and scientists was automatically classified as medical misinformation by an algorithm. There was no hearing, no context. My speech was deemed a violation because it challenged an official narrative. And the enforcement clause is the final nail. Enforcement of this policy is at ElevenLabs' sole discretion. This policy does not create any right or private right of action, or any reasonable expectation that our services will not contain any material that is prohibited. Translation: they have all the power. You have no rights. You cannot expect to be able to speak freely. The book's connection, it is hidden in the subtitle. Savior, oppressor, successor. This incident is a tiny preview of the oppressor scenario I write about. It's not about killer robots. It's about silent, automated control. The code is the law. An AI programmed by a handful of people with a specific worldview then becomes the judge, jury, and executioner. Your permissible speech is now determined based on vague, unaccountable terms like misinformation and inflammatory. If this is happening today with a voice cloning app, what happens when this principle is scaled up to control our access to financial systems, transportation, or healthcare? This is the crossroads. Will mankind's greatest invention be a tool for human empowerment, or will it be the most efficient system of control ever invented? I'm not telling you to stop using these tools. They are incredible in so many ways, but I am telling you to open your eyes. We must be aware of the strings attached. We must ask hard questions. Who defines misinformation? What worldview do these vague terms represent? Do we want a future where our ability to communicate is contingent on an algorithm's sole determination? This isn't a partisan issue. It's clearly a human issue that is on our doorstep right now, knocking, ringing. The ability to speak, to question, to debate, even wrongly, or with emotion, is the foundation of a free society. When we outsource the judgment of those ideas to unaccountable AI, we surrender that freedom. What happened to me is a warning. Artificial general intelligence dilemma isn't a future problem. It's here. It's happening now in the apps we pay for. We need to have this conversation before the choices are made for us. What do you think? Have you experienced something like this? And please, share your story in the comments below. And if this resonates with you, subscribe and hit the like button. This is a conversation we cannot afford to ignore. Thank you for your time.